Welcome again. Now we are going to discuss about the Norton's theorem. So this theorem is also an equivalent circuit theorem, which is applicable for the portion of the circuit. Okay, just as we have discussed on the last round about the Thevenin's theorem, that if we want to find out the current or the voltage across any particular resistance, any particular branch in the circuit, so it's easy to find out through the Thevenin's theorem. And similarly, we can find out by using the Norton's theorem. It is a bit different from the Thevenin's theorem. So we just in Thevenin's theorem we are just replacing that circuit with the voltage source in series and the resistance in the series. But here in Norton's theorem we will replace the circuit with the current source and the resistance should be in parallel. All right, so this is what the Norton's theorem is. So just write down, first of all we are going to write down the definition of the Norton's theorem. A linear two terminal active DC network M consisting of independent and slash or dependent voltage and current sources. And resistors can be replaced at a pair of terminal AB by a simple equivalent network consisting of a single current source IN, all right, in parallel with a single resistor Rn. Okay, so this is the simple definition of the Norton's theorem, the circuit which will come out to be like this. So this must be the current source IN and this will become the resistance Rn and this will be the load resistance RL. All right, the current through this should be IL and these are the pair of terminals A and B. All right, so if you rewind to the Thevenin's theorem, we have VTH and the resistance RTH in series with that. Here we have the current and the resistance in parallel with that. All right, so in this circuit also we have just replaced across these two terminals AB with the current source and in parallel with the resistance. All right, now we have the current source and the resistance in the parallel, so we can calculate the current IL over here because with the help of the current division rule. And as we able to know the IL, the load current, then with the help of that if we want to find out the voltage across this, it will be easy. All right, so this is what the Norton theorem is. All right, so now let's write down the procedure step by step how we will find out the current in across the at that particular branch or the load. All right, let's write down step by step. All right, so step number 1, similarly as in the case of Thevenin's theorem, disconnect the load resistance RL from the circuit. All right, from the circuit. Okay, then step 2, what should be step 2? Short circuit the output terminals short circuit the output terminal AB, since we need to find out the current across that. All right, if we need to find out the voltage across it in case of Thevenin's theorem, we have open circuited, and now we are going to find out the current across it, so we are going to short circuit them, A and B, output terminals A and B, after disconnecting load resistance RL, okay, from the terminal A and B. Then calculate the short circuit current IN. All right, now step number 3. Hope you have understand step number 2, what we have done in this: short circuit output terminals A and B. Okay, short circuited output terminal A and B after disconnecting load resistance RL from the terminal. Then calculate the short circuit current. So across this we are going to find out the short circuit current IN. All right, so step number 3, calculate the equivalent resistance. Calculate the equivalent resistance Rn. All right, Rn in case of Norton's theorem, and similarly RTH in case of Thevenin's theorem. Both the RTH and Rn are similar. All right, same across the output terminals A and B with all sources replaced by their internal resistances. All right, so this is step number 3. Now the last step is step number 4. Okay, similarly we will find out the Rn. Okay, then last step, place Rn, all right, in parallel with In to form the Norton equivalent. To form the Norton equivalent circuit. All right, and then reconnect the load resistance. Load resistance across output terminals A and B. All right, so from here, if you want to calculate the load current, now if you want to calculate the load current IL over here, IL from the circuit, you can see that if you then the current IL will become what? Just apply the current division rule. The resistance in the parallel branch, other branch, Rn, upon the total resistance of both of the branch, sum of the resistance in both the branch, Rn plus RL, okay, into the total current coming towards that. All right, IN. So this will give you IL, and once you get to know about the IL, you can calculate VL across that. VL will be IL into RL. Okay, and once you able to know the voltage across that, you can calculate the power across that, which will be VL into IL. All right, VI. So this is so easy. All right, now let us take one example, so that a simple example, so that it should become more clear to you how to apply the Norton's theorem to a circuit. Now let's take the same example which we have taken in case of Thevenin's theorem, and we try to solve it by using the Norton's theorem. All right, so just draw the circuit. Voltage source was there, resistance, all right, another resistance was there, and this was with the load resistance RL, all right, and one resistance is there in between. So this voltage source is of 20 volts. This is your R1, which is of 10 ohms. This is R2, again of 10 ohms. This is R3, similarly of 10 ohms. And this was your terminals AB, across which we need to find out the current, all right, voltage and the current across this, all right, by using the Norton's theorem. Now we are going to find out by using Norton's theorem. So first of all, what we will do, first step was just short circuit the terminal AB, all right. So we are going to short circuit this. So this circuit will become like this will be terminal A, this will be B, just connect it, all right. So this is of 20 volts, sorry, this is resistance, 10 ohm resistance is here, 10 ohm resistance is here, and this is of also 10 ohm. This is your terminal A and B. Now we have short circuited that, all right. So step 1 we have done, just short circuit that terminals A and B, and we have disconnected the load RL from that, and we have short circuited that. In the step number 2 we have written that we are going to short circuit it, and we will calculate the current IN in this branch. Okay, current IN. All right, so how are we going to find out the current IN? Now you can see that this is the total voltage given over here, these are the resistances. So considering this, the current which will come from here, I, all right, it will divide it in these two branches, all right. So by using the current division method, we can calculate the current in this branch coming over, and the current coming in this branch will be your IN, all right. So let's do that. First of all, we will find out the total current flowing through that is I. How we will calculate that? These two branches, this and this resistance are in parallel. So simply calculate this, 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 10 is equals to 1 upon R. This must be, we are just doing the rough work, so it will become easy for it. And so 2 upon that, so 1 by 5. So this resistance will become 5, and so this resistance is in series with this resistance, all right. So total resistance will come out to be, total resistance here come out to be 15 ohms. Okay, so this is the voltage given over here. So total current if you want to find out will become voltage upon resistance, and your total voltage is 20 volts and your resistance is 15, all right. So this is your total current IN, all right. So from here we have find out the total current, all right. This was step number 2. So as we are able to find out the total current, now we can find out step number 3, the total resistance across that. So if you want to find out the total resistance, so for finding out the total resistance, we need to short circuit this, because this is the voltage connected over here, and then the resistance is here, and again this resistance must be there, and this resistance, So across these terminal A, B, if you want to find out the resistance, so this resistance 10, this resistance 10, and this resistance 10, both of them are in parallel, and this should be in series now. Okay, so similarly, if you're going to find out, then Rn, this was In, Rn will again come out to be 15 ohms. All right, the same procedure we will apply over here. Now you can find out step number 4. In step number 4, we will draw the circuit, that is the current source In in parallel with the resistance Rn and the terminal AB, which is 25 ohm. This must be your IL. This is your Rn, which we have calculated 15 ohms. And this is In, we have already calculated 20 by 15 amperes. All right, now we have got this circuit. All right, now we are going to find out the total current over here. So total current, again, after applying the current division rule, we can find out IL. IL will be what? The resistance in the other branch, Rn, upon the total resistance, that is Rn plus RL, into the total current, which is In. Okay, Rn is what? 15 ohms divided by 15 ohms plus 25 ohms into the total current, which is given 20 divided by 5. All right, 15, this will become sorry, we have done one mistake over here. We have considered this as In, but this is not In, this is the total current. All right, so let's try to do resolve this problem. So we have got this total current over here, I. Now if we want to find out In in this branch, we will apply the current division rule. So In will be what? This is the total current we have find out, and In will be the current in this branch. So the resistance in this parallel branch, okay, upon the total resistance of both the branches into the total current. Total current is 20 by 15. All right, this will become 10 plus 10, 20 will cancel out. This will give us 10 by 15. All right, so In is what? In is 10 by 15. All right, now just put this In over here, that is 10 by 15. All right, this will give us 10 by 40 over here, and it comes out to be 0.25 amperes. All right, this is your current, total current coming in that particular branch. All right, if you want to find out the voltage across that branch, it will give us 25, that is the resistance across that branch, into the current across that branch is this. It will give you 6.25 volts. And if you look over here, then you can see that we have got the current this and the voltage this. Both the current and the voltage in this circuit across this load is same as we have find out in the by using the Thevenin's theorem. All right, so this is the way how you can find out the voltage or the current across any particular branch by using the Norton's theorem. All right, so try to solve more problems if you you face any problem in that particular examples. So ask me. All right, so thank you, thanks a lot.